What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Clubhouse. It is the guy that everyone loves to hate, the Crooked Commish. Why? I don't know. I didn't do nothing. But anyways, we are back at it again with the pregame show for the Chicago Bears and the Rams today, week 4 here. Thank you all for joining us. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to us so you don't miss any one of our shows that we have going on throughout this whole week. We have a Monday show. We have a Tuesday show. We're going to be having a midweek show either on Wednesday or Thursday. And then we have a Friday show, typically a Friday show with the Easy Does It. So, and then of course we have our pregame show that you're watching right now. So thank you again for joining us, everyone. Let's get into it. We're going to recap a little bit about what we saw last week against the unfortunate loss against the Colts. Recap that a little bit, talk about what went wrong, and then move on to this game. Talk about what we need to do to get back on track, get back to 2-2, and see what we need to do, like I said, to keep Caleb upright and like I said, keep the defense on the sideline and give them a chance to give them a breather and stuff so they're not burnt out by the fourth quarter. So with that out of the way, let me go ahead and bring in my crew here. First guy up, he is the most amped up person in the clubhouse, and that's why, of course, we call him Amp. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Crooked Commish, what's going on, baby?
Oh, not much. Just hoping we get a Bears win today.
Yeah, that part. That part right there. Hey, it's good. As always, it's good to see you. It's always good to see you, Commish. Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in to our pregame show. Man, I'm heated. You know what I'm saying? I'm heated. And so whenever you let me get this off my chest, man, because I've been holding this since Sunday. You know what I mean? I've been watching a lot of pressers and listening to a lot of local sports stations. And, man, we're pretty much on the same page, man. We're pretty much on the same page. It's Houston, we do have a problem. And can I start now, or you got something to say real quick? Because it's only going to take a couple of minutes. All right, check this out, man. Check this out. I am amped up. I waited 3 weeks. Right? Everyone said, you know what? Amp, it's just 3 games. Don't pay it any attention. Check this out. Nonsense. That's nonsense. This team is in disarray. And it starts at the top. This team is in total disarray. Straight up. When you have a first and goal from the 2-yard line, you're down by 5, right? You throw a screen pass, you run it twice up the middle, then you throw a screen to Swift. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure everybody's seen that clip where all the offensive linemen are on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And that was that clip right there, exactly. That clip right there. It speaks volumes. Man. It's that right there. And that's Shane Waldron. That's Puss. You know what I'm saying? And all week I'm hearing like we're getting it together. The offense is slowly getting it together. Man, they don't have a clue. They were down by 5. They scored when they finally did score a touchdown. Puss puts up one point. We're going for 1 point. The O-line coach puts up 2. We're going for 2. And then they have to call a timeout. To decide, to figure out that, you know what, let's get on the same page here. Man, I'm telling you, this team is in total disarray. And it starts with evil Puss. And here's the sad part about it. I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a, what you call them. That's the word. I don't give about what anybody says at this point right now. I've seen this show before, 50 plus years. I've seen this. Poles dropped the ball. He dropped the ball.
The Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were.
That's it. That's it. I love the Bears. I love the Bears. 34 all day. 34 all day. Chicago Bears all day. Live and die with them. That's why I'm amped up. Live and die with them. Check it out. When Poles didn't draft a center or offensive lineman, check it out. He did everybody on that team on that offensive side of the ball an injustice. And check it out. And so now it's time. We can't make it up. We can't just pick up a center. We just can't pick up a left tackle. You know what I mean? So everyone that's on the team on the offensive side, you got to rotate them in. You got like Pryor, players that are just mediocre, man. Check it out. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this, man. Yeah. I'm tired of it, and it's time. And here's the kicker. It's time for a change. But we can't change because this is only the 4th game of the season. So what? I'm not naive. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I know what we need, man. And the Bears fans know what we need. So here we are. And I'm gonna throw it back to you, Commish. Here we are, sitting at 1-2, going against a team that's 1-2 at home. Check it out. No offensive game plan of whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Now they're talking about running Rojo back there. That way he can run in between the tackles. You got a back that runs in between the tackles. And they're talking about Swift as a bust. Swift is not a bust. Swift can't run in between the tackles. You got to get him out in space. Right. Check it out. I know this. Do you know this, Commish? Did you know that? Did you know that you had to get Swift out in space to get the best out of him?
Yeah, I think it became apparent here. It became apparent, after they tried doing the same shit 3 games in a row of trying to run them up between the tackles and having no success, and yet they're still trying to do the same thing. Like, fit a square peg into a round hole. So, but real quick, I know, calm you down a bit. We got our chef in the background here, waiting to get on to it and kind of chop it up with us and let us know his thoughts on what happened last week, and of course give us his thoughts on what we need to see here in a few hours to get out of this Sunday with a dub. So let's go ahead and bring on the cook of the clubhouse, and also a coach, multitasker, Coach Chef. You ready?
What's going on, fellas? Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Grand Rising. What's going on? What's going on, Coach Chef? What's cooking, baby? What's cooking?
Ain't nothing cooking. Yesterday was my Friday. I ain't cooking a damn thing today.
And we got Crazy Ace. We got Crazy Ace asking. Thank you, Crazy Ace, for jumping in. Do you really think Waldron will be will be better after meeting with the players, after having that players meeting? Week 3, having a players meeting already.
Go
ahead, Chef.
Go ahead. Week 3 having a players meeting. It's unfortunate. It seems like the same old thing. That's where me and Amp agree. It seems like the same old thing. You hire offensive coach, offensive coordinator who this time has a background in calling plays. You still have a disarray with the line. I think the one thing about the line, is you kept the O-line coach out of all the entire staff who you got rid of, and you made him the run game coordinator, and the run game is essentially the worst in the league. It's 31st to be exact, but essentially it's the worst in the league. If you take away Justin Fields' rushing yards for the past 2 seasons, the Bears running backs themselves are still ranked between like 15 and 25 the past 2 seasons. You have a running back who for his entire career has averaged over 4 yards a carry, who's only had 8 carries in 3 games. That's Herbert. You can say what you want about him. The man puts up almost 5 yards a carry his career. Like, it's over 4. Like, you can't get any better than averaging 4 yards a carry, yet he has 8 carries. The O-line, me and you watched the game together last Sunday. I've watched that 4th down and goal out of shotgun, which you remember me saying, why are they in shotgun? We both said that. Mm-hmm. And all I can say is everyone keeps showing the steel frame of all the offensive linemen on ground, which is unnecessary, and also it's absurd, especially for a goal line play. But does anyone actually watch the play in slow motion? You know they were cutting on that play. Why are you cutting on a speed option on a goal line play? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The play,
great question.
That's how Wright
great
ended
question,
up on the ground.
Chef.
I saw Wright dive for
great
the
question.
knees, but then Nate whiffed on his block. And a lot of it was a combination of guys diving for the knees and then
trying to cut and missing. But you shouldn't be cut. You shouldn't be cut blocking on goal line. So that's O-line and the offensive coordinator, and especially the O-line coach, who's the run game coordinator. Look, we got a guy named Thomas Brown, a former University of Georgia running back, who was actually up for the job of offensive coordinator. And it's only 3 weeks. We officially, at this point, since there's 17 games now, but essentially old school football, 16 games for most of our lives, especially most of my life, has been 16 games. After today, it'll be a quarter of the season played, and you don't have an identity. And I tried to say it the past couple of weeks, but as you can see, I hope my connection is clear now because I finally got Wi-Fi. Thank you, CenturyLink, for taking almost a month to get me my damn modem. But
that sounds about right here in Arizona. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Okay. See, I've been dealing with this. I'm like, why does it take almost a month to get the Wi-Fi here?
Normal,
but
completely normal.
But it's like, why don't you have an identity? This is what we've been saying as Bear fans for 3 quarterbacks is, why don't these quarterbacks play enough snaps in the preseason? Why don't the line get enough snaps in the preseason? Why doesn't, I don't know if I mentioned it last week in the chat because I didn't have Wi-Fi last Sunday, but it's like, why are we repeating the same things? The quarterback either doesn't play enough, then you get the quarterback snap, then the offensive line doesn't have cohesion. Our offensive line hasn't had cohesion together since like mid-season last year, with I think for the first time in the line who we typically wanted, and that was still back with the old center, had like 5 consecutive games together. Like, you don't have the cohesion. It's disheartening as a fan. Like, I knew the team would struggle. I didn't think they'd struggle this much on offense, but I knew they'd be struggling because you have a rookie, you have first-time play caller. I don't think that the team got enough cohesion. Also, I don't want to blame it on this because, I mean, it's an NFL thing. Passing has gone down, short passing has gone up, vertical passing has gone down. But teams don't practice anymore. Someone said something in a video I watched and said, I don't want to hear any more about the offensive line or the running game look good in practice. They don't hit in practice anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you, besides training camp, which is only so many padded practices, they don't go 100% like full shells and pans. They usually just go shells when they go contact, which means shoulder pads and helmets. How physical are these practices? I'm like, yes, there are some running games are inherently better than others, and that's predominantly because that's their identity. But our identity, we don't have an identity. Still, offensive line still didn't have the whole offseason together, whether it was Davis or the centers or whatever it has. You had 2 tackles that have been healthy, but then they look like they're regressing. The offensive line, the players who you thought were supposed to be good are regressing. The defense held up as much as they could last week up until they couldn't. They kept a very mediocre young quarterback looking mediocre. All in all, without going too far in it, it was a very disappointing game. And like I said, me and you watched the game together. In fact, me and you have watched 2 of the 3 games together. And I've said the most consistent thing for the past 2 to 3 weeks that we've been watching it together, if not 3 weeks. Have we watched all 3 weeks together? No, just the first 2 weeks because 1 week was a Sunday night.
Yes.
Bro, we're in shotgun all the fucking time. No, we're in shotgun all the fucking time. I don't see enough pistol. I don't see enough under center. Like, why? I'm a wide receiver. Why do I want to see old school forms of football? You got 3 running backs with all this talent offensively, and it's for naught. You got 2 receivers. Well, one of them has been healthy, who put up 1,200 plus yards last season. You have a rookie who has the potential to put up yards, who had 100 yards in his first game, and he's playing with a strained MCL. And you're what's the damn rank? You're not even ranked. You're ranked 32 in rushing. I mean, Caleb did have a 363, but before that, he was averaging less than 200 yards a game, bro. Like, I don't want to say this season's lost because I'm not there, but it's thoroughly frustrating.
Hey, so check this out,
so the
man.
Bears offense. Hold on, Amp, real quick. The Bears offense right now is ranked 30th overall, 31st in rushing, passing they're 25th, and then scoring they're 22nd. So the offense, but then we're comparing that to the Rams defense, who's overall 30th in rushing, 29th in passing, and 31st in scoring. So I mean, it's like a bad.
But that doesn't matter because the Colts. It doesn't matter because the Colts were last in rushing, and because the Bears still couldn't run the ball. Now the Colts are not even last in rush defense anymore. So how you would almost say the rankings don't even matter because they still couldn't run the ball versus literally the worst rushing attack. They didn't have their prime player in Buckner. They had Latu who was invisible the entire game until you have tight ends blocking him. Look, man.
Well, Rojo is supposed to change that hopefully this week, running up the middle with the bigger back instead of.
None of that matters.
Go for it, Amp.
None of it matters. Check this out. Here's the bottom line, man. As long as we have a coach that's 11-26, hear me. Right now at this point, he's 11-26. Does not have a clue. Doesn't know how to fix this. You know why? Because he can't. It's too late to be fixed. It can't be fixed. Like Coach Shep has said, like before, like you can't just bring offensive linemen and just pick them off trees. You know what I'm saying? You can't get a center and just pluck them in there from where. No, this is bad.
Amp, is this? It seems like this is the overall game plan for Caleb Williams here.
Survive.
I mean, is that it? Just
hey, you know what?
This or is this what should
with this O-line? Check it out. I don't think, and you know what? I want to keep the kid upright. I want him to be upright, man, and surviving with
not
this
O-line. 60 games times a game.
And yeah, real talk. 70%, man. 70% of his snaps. He's been pressured. He's been sacked 23 times this year, man. We're talking that's 3 games. We're talking almost 7 sacks a game, man. Come on, you know, how is he going to survive that? How is he going to survive that when you got an O-line coach and an offensive coordinator that doesn't have a clue, and then you have your head coach who well, I'm saying, man, 11-26. He's 11-26. I said this after the first game, real quick. If we go single win seasons this year, it's over for him, man. And now the kid's gonna have to start over because you got to clean house. You have to clean house. We can't do this again, man. You just can't, man. You just can't.
Speaking of offensive coordinators, I always felt like it seems like this is what's being said to them at halftime.
I don't know. You got to do something. You got to do something out there.
Yep.
I mean,
when I saw Shane Waldron's hands shaking 2 weeks ago, he had the play call. He had the play clock. His hands was literally shaking.
I don't understand that. Like, he's not a first-time play caller.
Did you see it though, right, Chef?
The buck stops with Matt Eberflus because he's the head coach, and obviously, yes, the defense is better, but he's supposed to be running the organization. He's the face of the coaching staff because he's the head coach. So the Bears rank 22nd in rushing attempts with a rookie quarterback. 22nd rushing attempts. They rank 31st in yards. In passing attempts, they rank first. They ranked first in passing attempts. They're not even statistically the worst team by record in the NFL. How is that a thing?
That's that 3 yards here and a cloud of dust. That's that screen there. That's that screen here. That's that.
So look, Eberflus need, like we said it last year, obviously. The year before that, his first year, I gave him a pass because mean, you gave him turnips and you asked him to make lemonade. And last time I checked, you can't make lemonade out of turnips. You got rid of your defense. You didn't have an offense. Like I always tell people who talk about Eberflus in his first year, I just gonna say, go look at that roster and tell me how many of those guys are producing right now in the NFL. The answer is one, probably one. And unfortunately, that guy plays starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anyway, so it goes back with the line. I don't know what other fundamentals you can do. You don't hit in practice. I thought we ran an outside zone. I haven't seen much of that. Swift's supposed to be a one-cut running back. He's trying to stretch to the outside because your tackles are getting blown up. Darnell Wright looks like he's regressing. Your best the supposed interior lineman, he looks like he's partially regressing. He looks only effective 60% of the time. You don't really have a center. Pryor looked good up until he made a play where he didn't look good. But, I mean, that's the NFL. You can't win them all. You can't win every snap. Shit happens at the end of the day. But offensively, they don't look good, obviously. And that's an understatement. Then you play a Rams team, which I always also want to remind people, and I have to say it every week, it's still the NFL, bro. Like, teams are going to beat teams all the time. The Rams just beat the 49ers, and the 49ers are supposed to be the upper echelon, the creme de la creme of the NFC. So football is still football. But they're missing a bunch of people, too. They're missing like 2 or 3 starting offensive linemen. They're missing 2 of their top receivers. You still have one of the top 5 offensive minds in current NFL coaching in their head coach, McVay. So obviously, if you're talking about coaching staffs, it's a wash with the Rams coaching staff. You would give them obviously the advantage. But I wouldn't give them an advantage entirely for the entire offense, unfortunately, because they're missing guys. I think I'd give the Bears talent-wise from quarterback, running back, O-line, receivers, I would give them the bonus, but Sean McVay is clearly a better head coach than our head coach. Even defensively, I would still give it to the Bears. They're still ranked highly, even though they allowed 100 rushing yards to Jonathan Thomas, JT last week, Jonathan Taylor. They kept the quarterback under check, although he threw 2 horrendous picks, but that's what you're supposed to do when you have an elite type defense. So it's like you almost have to. You almost literally would have to it's week 4, and for me, if I was the coach and your team is underperforming, you would almost have to go into, even as an OC, I would have to go into look, we're going back to the fundamentals, and I don't mean the fundamentals like, what do you put your hands when you're blocked and cover the ball? Like, let's establish something now. I come in Wednesday morning and say, look, we've got to run the ball. We're going to run the ball and we're going to play action, and we're going to get with Caleb and say what he wants, because he makes statements about getting with Waldron and running things that have them on the same page. But it's like, what does Waldron want to run? What does Caleb want to run? If we're always talking about under center and not under center recently, what if Caleb prefers to be in shotgun? But shotgun is not going to get it. It's not a good way for us to run the ball based with how our offensive line and our running backs are. So we've got to come to some middle ground on, look, we've got to establish the run first to set you up so you don't get abused when you go back to pass. That's number one.
They're gonna get abused. The offense is gonna get abused this week. Rams running that 3-4 defense. There's DBs, veterans. They're gonna play a lot of man coverage. I'm just hoping.
But they're not good at defense. They're not good at defense.
They're
not good at defense.
Yeah.
They rank 32nd. The Rams rank 31st now in run defense. They rank 29th in pass defense.
I know where they rank. I understand that. Chef. I understand that. Hear me out. But when it comes to coaching, what did you say about coaching?
I would say, good God. And we get to go against Sean Desai. He's a senior defensive assistant on the Rams defense right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's an ex-coach of ours.
Former DB coach
defense
and OC.
When you see a weakness, and we know we're going to get out coached. When you see a weakness, and that Bears offense is a glaring weakness. You know what I'm saying? That kid's gonna feel some pressure today, man. Number 18 is gonna feel a lot of pressure today, man. He's gonna get a lot of pressure from a lot of different looks, which he hasn't seen before. In game time. And I noticed that they said that he had the plays on his wrist last week, right? So I'm watching this, right? This is Puss's way and Waldron's way of quote unquote getting the plays to him quicker. Check this out, man. Say him reading the plays off his wrist. No. This is a rook. This is a rook. You know what I'm saying? Under fire. Yes, of course. You send him plays in, and he does have options. But you give him the plays on his wrist, and then you continue to call that garbage. And you think going against the Rams, and I know both of them are 1 and 2. I know where the Rams rank in defense, man. Check this out. They're gonna get that kid the blues, man. They're gonna have number 18 running all over the field, man. Just different looks. He's gonna be so confused because this is my opinion, because I don't have confidence and or the faith in our offensive coordinator, our offensive line coach, or the QB coach to keep that kid upright. To show him, to teach him. Because all I'm hearing all week is how he's improving, in practice, For real? Has anyone heard this before with another quarterback? I'm not trying to be that guy, but we've heard this before, man. And frankly, I'm tired. It's week 4. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. We have what, like 13 more weeks?
Yeah, we're all sick of seeing the same episode over and over again. Hey, Chef, you do have a question from Crazy Ace there. Ask Chef when he's putting the alcohol shelf back up. I miss it. He's got to reestablish his collection.
No, I don't actually. Most of my bar made it to Phoenix, actually. All of it made it to Phoenix. It's have a different alcohol shelf. But since we're still in the process of moving right now, I'm in my guest room, which is finally cleared out with all from my mother-in-law's things. So this will actually be one of my son's rooms when we get together. Remember, I've only been here since June, so we're still getting settled. But don't worry, the alcohol shelf is still popping. Go up and find that comment from Logan about the defense.
Yes, right here. So correct me if I'm wrong. 3-4 defense is better for the Bears when your front 3 is bad. This defense was good week 1, bad since then.
I'm assuming he's talking about the Rams defense.
Yes. Because you guys are just talking about
a bad defense is a bad defense. The Rams they've only looked good in week 1 because they were healthy, actually. So yes, they've been bad ever since. But I could say the same for the Colts. We thought that the Bears would have an advantage because the Colts didn't have anyone you knew besides a couple linebackers who balled the fuck out last Sunday. The speed line, they had 2 linebackers who I would say are slightly above average. One of them's on my fantasy team in speed. So he had a good game, but they didn't. I mean, you got a strip sack from Latu. You didn't have any. Well, you did have 2 picks. One was a horrible decision by Caleb. The other one was just a bang play. I know me and you went back and forth on whether Rome should have called it. I said, hey, man, taking hits when you're trying to catch the ball and you get hit awkward, that shit happens in the NFL. Like, I'd say that's a 50-50 play. It's great if he makes it. If he doesn't, you just hope it doesn't end and how it ended, which was an interception, unfortunately. But they should look better. What defense they play doesn't matter because the offensive line hasn't shown that they can block any goddamn defense.
That's what Crazy is pretty much saying right here. Regardless of the front. O-line
can't identify their assignments and block. They can't identify, and the biggest thing is they're not communicating. It got better. Like I can't even make an ad lib of saying better with a joke in it because they did look better. Like, there you go, quotations. They looked better versus the Colts. But I don't know what we're going to see today. I don't know because I don't. it's predictable, yet it's not. Like, okay, Caleb throws the ball too much. We don't run the ball enough. We don't run the ball right with the right back. We don't use the receivers the way that we think that they should be used. We have a receiver in DJ who does everything. He can go underneath. He can go intermediate. He can go vertical. I've seen some of that. Then we've got a big receiver who we want to run out of the slot. They finally used him properly because his win rate was the best of rookie receivers, although he hasn't blown up like the other two, but he had 100 yards and he had a touchdown off of what? A slot corner. A slot corner because he's 6'3". That's how you use a goddamn 6'3" receiver. Cole Kmet finally got used. You can call him what you want, foul mouth, but Big Stiffy had almost 90 yards and what? Another fucking touchdown. So, like, you have bits and pieces of what you want to see from your offense, but it doesn't look like we've had a full game. We haven't had a full game offensively since the last 5 weeks of Justin Fields. And then it just goes back to, what are you going to establish? What is your identity? Are you a running team? Are you a play action team? You're not power. You're not speed. You can't have your rookie quarterback throwing the ball 60 times in a game. You can't have that.
Right. No, I agree.
You can't. I don't care if he's CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud didn't have a 60 attempt game last season.
Right. Like I said, I didn't mind the yardage, but I wanted at least 12 or 8 less attempts from the 52. Then that would have looked a lot better and stuff.
He threw the ball 60 times.
I hear you. Before we get further into it here, we're about at the halfway point. Let me go ahead and pay some bills real quick, and then we'll get back and get into the Rams game a bit more and start getting into our score predictions. I see some of us have already started dropping it. Don Burr, that's one of you. And then it looks like we have Lola coming in, one of our newest members as well. So let's pay some bills. We'll come back, introduce our newest member to the team, and get her thoughts and her score prediction as well. So stick with us. We'll be right back, y'all.
Standards prevailed, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. Acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
To all our sponsors, Moore's Beer, in the zone. Go ahead.
Before we bring on our guest, I just want to make these statistical in 3 games by the Rams. In 3 games, the Rams have 1 interception. They have forced only 3 fumbles. They've only recovered 2. They have a total in 3 games of 4 sacks, and they have only registered quarterback hits. In 3 games, their total defense has only hit the quarterback less than 12 times. So for all of those watching the game, just keep that in mind. They are not known for being good at too much of anything. So, yeah. In 4 games, they're literally averaging like a sack and a third a game. A sack a game.
Thank you for those stats, Jeff. Brought to you by our sponsors, Moore's Beer, In the Zone, also Fantasy Jocks. Thank you for sponsoring us. We appreciate all our sponsorships that we get from us here at the Chicago Clubhouse. Please check them out and let them know that the Clubhouse sent you. Amp, real quick, I know you're itching to say something. Just give me a minute. Let me go ahead and bring in our newest member to the team, and everyone welcome Lola Bunny. She is our newest member. She's going to be leading our midweek show once we figure out whether it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. So we'll get that all straightened out. But Lola, welcome to the Clubhouse. Thank you for joining us. Everyone, say hello to Lola.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, fellas. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, Lola?
I'm good. I'm very optimistic today.
Amp, I'm sorry.
That's a good adjective.
We are getting some really bad feedback. That's why I'm keeping you on mute, because when you're not, it's like we're getting noise back from the show to your speakers. So that's kind of why I'm muting you when you're not speaking there. So I do apologize about that, but I'm sure everyone else can kind of hear it there. The feedback is coming back there.
Real quick. Just want to comment on what Coach Chef said real quick about the Rams offense being, defense being rated, whatever they are rated. Check it out. They're going against the Bears offense, man. Bottom line, they're going against the Bears offense. They will look good today. They will look good. They will play good today. This is all coaching.
That sounds like an unfortunate truth.
I disagree with you. This is gonna be an ugly game again. And that's all I have, man. That's all I have.
Hope it's an ugly win.
Lola,
I agree.
So, Lola, let us know, what are your thoughts on what you've seen from the Chicago Bears so far this first 3 weeks, and what you're expecting out of them today? What seems to be the issue with them from your point of view? I know.
Where to begin? I guess this is what always happens whenever any of our teams, Chicago teams, are rebuilding every single year. So it's always going to be a learning curve, right? We weren't expecting them to go 17. Oh, we all knew that. We were expecting losses and holes and things like that. So, but I just think, I think they're as soon as they settle down, I think they'll be okay. But I don't know, with the losses seem to be kind of like hurting them more than I thought they would. like really,
because they don't look good in the losses. They don't look good.
Yes.
I get that. I just think I expected it. So because 4 games in the preseason isn't going to have them learn each other and know each other like that, to where they are going to come out and face these teams in the regular season and be so prepared and so ready. So, I think the preseason was kind of a fluke. We were kind of like trying different guys, different quarterbacks every quarter almost. So I don't really think that was a really good idea, example of how the season was going to go. So I'm still optimistic, though. I just think it's just a lot of, of course it's the offense, because the defense can stop them, but if we're not putting points on the board, who cares? So, but there's in the first game, we found other ways to score besides offense. So I don't know. We're in an abusive relationship. This is what we do as fans, and it's frustrating every single time. But I'm just trying to stay optimistic, and hopefully today they'll show more signs of getting it together.
Progress.
So I go ahead and finish.
Progress.
So, and that's the thing. It's like, I think everybody kind of was saying to ourselves when we're after seeing the first 3 games, it's like, God, it was supposed to be different this time. The fuck. And I think all of us should have seen the writing on the wall, because just my thoughts on our coach, Eberlose, because that's all he knows how to do is lose games. He has not grown as a coach from year 1 to now. He still doesn't know how to manage a game. He's still fucking up timeouts and doesn't know how to utilize his timeouts. Yeah. With the rookie QB that you're having this year, we need a coach who is sharp and doesn't blow timeouts, doesn't waste challenges and shit like that. So when we get to the end of the game and we have a drive where we're down by a touchdown, need to score, we still have all 3 fucking timeouts, hopefully, and not just 1 timeout or 0 timeouts. And now we got to fucking throw to the sideline to try and reserve the clock, which everybody on defense knows that's what you're doing. So it makes it even harder on the rookie. This coach is not the rookie any favors as far as not managing the game better. And that's what's irritating and disappointing, that they didn't just move on from him from last season and get a new coach in here, just because I don't think any of us really believed as a coach. He's a good defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he does not know how. He has not shown any growth at all. He's still showing.
Maybe they should read Chicago Sky's playbook.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
To her.
I don't think that was a good idea. But that's a whole.
I don't either. I don't
think that was a good idea for them to get rid of Witherspoon. But that's a whole nother argument.
Right. Go ahead.
It's always revisionist history, especially when the person who you're not talking about is a champion now. So anytime I think about a coach who's Eberflus is not a great head coach, but I think there's a head coach in the NFL who's won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, who literally through his entire tenure with the team that put him on the map, the biggest criticism about him was his lack of time management. Do you know who that coach is?
Bring back Lovey. No, say that again. Ask that question again. I got distracted by the comment.
The one that
I'm sorry.
Last 2 Super Bowls, isn't that Big Red?
Yes. So the biggest criticism about Andy Reid, his entire tenure until he won a Super Bowl, was what? His time management, blowing timeouts, not managing the fourth quarter. But it's revisionist history because he's done what? He's won. He's also had literally the best quarterback the past 7 seasons, give or take, semantics. So things can change. And he's always been, obviously, he's an offensive-minded guy, so he's always been on the forefront of offenses. But you need something from Eberflus and his staff, especially Eberflus, on his decision-making in game that's going to change that narrative. But it's not going to change until we see substantial change that ends in results of winning and looking good while winning. Yes, the defense looks awesome. They look winded. Go ahead, Amp.
If nothing changes, Coach.
You right? No, that's the point I'm making.
If nothing changes, bro. It's bad. This is bad. I was earlier, and real quickly, check this out. I don't want anyone out there, our listeners, our viewers, our co-hosts. I don't want anyone out there to get me misunderstood. I like the kid. I like number 18. I'm not saying he's a failure, because I've been hearing a lot of that. Amp is saying this, that. No, I'm not. I like him. What I don't like are the coaches. I don't like the coaches. They can't keep him upright. They like you said. They don't know how to.
Argument with Fields?
They don't know how to manage the game. They're gonna get that kid hurt. He's got to go.
So if they have to change the back end, right, exactly. That was our argument with Fields the whole time. They're gonna get him killed out there,
especially his rookie year.
Luckily, Fields had some legs up under him. He would run for his life more so than what Caleb's doing in the last 3 games. But I mean, he's gonna learn that because he's gonna start running. They're gonna be after him. He as soon as he's snapping the ball, somebody in his face. So. Like I had heard before, you can have Joe Montana back there. You wouldn't know he was Joe Montana. You would never hear from him. That wouldn't be a household name if he had our offense.
Yeah, if the line doesn't get any better, eventually we're gonna have to. We're gonna have this situation.
Get him a body bag. Yeah. All right. Do it again.
I have one question.
I'll come to you
Lola.
after that, Amp.
I know we're getting down to the last quarter of the show, but I have to ask this question just because it's something we do. Lola, I have to ask this because I have to ask this of everyone who comes on and who I've been on with for the first time and who I've had it. I have to know your Bears love story. I have to. I've asked everyone on every show I've ever been on. I have to know your Bears love story. If you could synopsis it in about a minute and a half, since we're tight on time. Can you give me your Bears love story? Because I have to have it. I have to have everyone's Bears love story.
You know what? It's not really that long. It's definitely, of course, a family thing. Sitting watching with my uncles and grandfather and father and all of that, watching the games when I was little. And then the Super Bowl shuffle happened, and I love music, and I fell in love. So after that, I have been like a football fan, period, since I was 7 years old. And was mad I couldn't play. Went to the schools, be like, hey, you guys got a football team? No, not for you. So that's always been my first love, even before basketball, anything like that. I played volleyball in high school. That was probably the only sport that I really did. But other than that, I've always been a football fan. But Chicago, this is Bear country. So you take the wins and the losses, and I'm a Cubs fan too. So trust me, I get beat up a lot.
There we go. Go Cubs. Go Cubs.
Which would bring me to my quick next things. I thought you might say that. I know. Did you go to a CPS school?
No, I'm a Catholic girl.
Oh, okay. But nowadays, even the Catholic League, I know that last year the IHSA has made girls flag football an official state sport. Yes. So I know that's a big thing. I know that was one of the things that I saw before I left. That flag football for girls is an official.
Girl fans.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Really so.
The Bears were actually really big with that, making that happen, being a sponsor for that, and being a big institution for flag football becoming a part of the high school, part of Illinois State athletics. So it's an official sport in Illinois now, girls flag football. So
that's awesome. That's good.
T3P podcast, Bears fans since '84. Yeah.
There you go.
My first Bears quarterback I remember was Jim Harbaugh. I remember seeing Tom Waddle's tight end. So that's kind of like when I started seeing that third down, Tom Waddle was getting the ball and getting us a first down. So that's what I was
probably get hit too. And probably getting concussed.
Yeah. Like Madden said, he had an all-time record day in smelling salts and staying in the games.
Oh yeah, that's a famous line from John Madden. Tom Waddle also was an all Madden player. He picked him on his all Madden team one year.
Oh, also that's part of my football story too. Like as soon as I loved football, I was on Nintendo. I was on all the things football.
Tecmo Bowl.
Yes. But yeah, I was a big Madden girl.
Oh, hey,
awesome.
Like Madden and Pat Summerall.
Yeah.
Pat Summerall, Madden, like
staple.
When they were commentating your games, you were
80s, 90s staple.
Al Michaels still doing it.
Yes.
Looks the same and sounds the same. It's crazy.
It is.
And doesn't eat vegetables. Weird fun fact.
Really?
Does not eat vegetables. Yes.
Let me stop then, because he looked good.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
steak and potatoes, that guy.
Hey, that's the basics right there. So I mean, you don't stray from the basics. Well, we're getting down to the last few minutes of our show. Let's go ahead and get into some of these score predictions on what's going to happen on today's game. Don Bird jumped in here a little earlier and started us off. He said Rams 23, Bears 13, dropping us to a 1-3.
Shout out to Don Bird.
Yeah, Lions fan, Don Burr. Thank you for dropping in.
I have to shout out Don Burr because I see Don Burr on almost every forum on YouTube in the chat group. He's always on Bears chat with Harrison Graham. He's everywhere. Don Burr gets around on all these Bears platforms for a person who's a Lions fan. I don't get it.
He likes the abuse, I guess.
Dude is everywhere.
Funkster Jones, P. Funkster Jones. Hopefully the Bears do win, and thank you for the compliment on the show. So yes, go ahead, and we see them starting to trickle in. We got Jeremy saying Rams win 24-20.
Oh man, in this situation, I think the Bears are going to win. They won the last game at home. I think they're going to win at home. I think we're going to help them win.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Chef, what are you thinking here?
Man, based on last week, man, it doesn't look optimistic. I don't know what's going to be different. Like you change running backs, but you still got 3 running backs who you don't use enough in general. You use Swift, you don't use him right. That's why he's like averaging 1 yard a carry. Like, what is this? You have Roshan and Khalil together have 16 damn carries. You don't run the ball enough. I have the Bears winning. If they don't win, I do want to see a major change. I want to see Thomas Jones, who's the pass game coordinator, since he's the former running back. I actually want to see him become the running game coordinator because that's his background as a running back. He's coached a long time after his playing days were over. So I would actually like to see him and the offensive line coach, either if he's not fired, at least just going back down to the running game or them collab or something, because the offensive line coach is not doing a good job being the run game coordinator. So I want to see Thomas Brown promoted or getting an additional task besides pass game coordinator. But I guess I'll say I have the Bears winning since the games have all been close. The wins are ugly. I think if they win today, it's going to be an ugly win. So I'll say, I want to say 22-14, but really let's just go 22-14. I don't even know how that math works out. Maybe a safety, but somehow a missed field goal.
Yeah.
A missed field goal, a missed extra point. Like now I got Cairo Santos missing an extra point, 3 field goals, a touchdown, 2 touchdowns and a missed field goal. So 22-14 Bears.
That's some funky math.
That was some.
The Rams also don't have 100 yards. I just want to also note the Rams don't have a cumulative of 100 yards in any of these games, and Matthew Stafford has not thrown for 300 yards since week 1 when he had his full offensive weapon. So, like, come on, defense. I need my defense to score. I need the Bears defense to score a touchdown. I need a defensive touchdown.
Or special teams somewhere. Frank saying Bears win 24-23. Santos has a big day. And then we have Andrea. Thank you for joining us again. We saw her on the Tuesday show. Bears 21, Rams 17. I pray we get it together today. Hopefully your prayers get answered. We're all praying the same thing. We all lit a candle today for our Chicago Bears here. So missed 2-point conversion. I don't think Santos makes extra point. Come on, Jeremy.
We gotta keep his record.
Oh, nah, dog. Come on, man.
Even if they win today, but they don't look good, we're still not going to be happy. Well, some of us not going to be happy. I know Amp's not going to be happy in Mr. Chicago. Mr. Chicago always talks about having a stroke at every game. This ain't college football. Your team can't win by 40 every week. It's the NFL. Most games are going to come down to about a touchdown or less final score. So,
Scott Hopkins saying it was an argument with Fields, it was an argument with Mitch, it was an argument with Cuddy, it was an argument with Orton, it was an argument with Rex, it was an argument with Jim Miller. So I'm guessing he's saying the cycle.
What argument? What argument? There was no argument with Mitch. Mitch was mediocre. Mediocre Mitch. I get it. I'm sorry. I had a flashback. Been calling Mitch mediocre since college. No, never. He was mediocre in college. He should have been the first pick. Quiet. No, Mitch for sure. Mitch, I think no one was really thrilled with the pick there when he got picked. Amp, let us know what are the Bears going to do today?
Check this out. I got the Bears losing 14-23. Check this out. My word for the week.
Disloyal fool ass bitch made punk.
You know what's crazy about it is I've been right the past 2 weeks on the score, like real close, like one point off. But anyway, my word for the week is accountability. And I want to know why number 18 has a C on his jersey when he's chasing the receiver for a touchdown pass his first touchdown pass that he's thrown.
Oh, that was a joke. It was a touchdown celebration.
Why does the kid have a C on his jersey? Has he earned that?
Because every quarterback on every team is a captain. He should have been a captain, but every quarterback is a captain in the NFL, unfortunately.
No.
No.
Well, all right.
I think he was voted, though. Bears voted him a captain, but in the NFL, literally out of 32 teams, I can guarantee you at least 25 of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL, they're all captains. That's just,
well, especially if you're the number 1 overall pick. I think a lot of number 1 overall picks.
It's just what it is.
You know, so, and I think, like I said, it is the most. We heard a lot too before Caleb was even getting drafted that the offensive playbook was being fed to him right off the bat. So I think it's a little discouraging.
Something like that.
Feeling what Lola is feeling, it's like, damn, I would think if they had a chance to work with him right from the get-go, he should at least have a handful of plays that he can go to Waldron and be like, I feel comfortable running these plays. And like they have him blocked to a T, you know what I mean? Like there should be something embedded in them, like you're saying, and that helps develop an identity, you know. And the fact that you were week 3 and they're still kind of like, yeah, we're still searching for that. It's like, guys,
but if you're the quarterback, but typically the quarterback's plays are like passing plays, but you don't run the ball, so you don't have an identity. The identity can't be to throw the ball 50 times a game. That can't be our identity. Even a team that we're going to play soon with Jaden Daniels, who people are now saying, well, some people are saying, oh, he's the best pick. But pump the fucking brake. Their offensive coordinator, who comes from the air raid system, even they run the ball more than the Bears do. Like Cliff Kingsbury, who was known for passing the ball, he ran the ball in Arizona. He's running the ball as the OC in Washington. Like you have to establish the run. He's not as athletic as Caleb is less athletic than Daniels, but you got to find what works for your offensive line and for the backs that you have. Starting Roschon, it may work, but you don't. I'm sorry, I still think underutilized back they have is Khalil Herbert. So, you know, how do you got to find a way to get 3 different guys the ball. I don't think they use Swift in the pass game enough, and I don't mean running no fucking screens. Like, have him run routes. Like that's what he did with Philly. That's what he did in Detroit. None of the people, very few of the offensive weapons are used in totality. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to see.
Like they don't trust the people in the position. So I don't know. Like even when they were handing it off to Swift, it was like way behind them. People, if they running for Caleb, they already running for you if you behind him. So I just that, and then they did that play like 3 times in a row at one point, and I was just like, oh. They're reading us. They know this is coming. Like so,
it was predictable. Like, it was predictable.
Yeah. And when we don't find a hole, we don't adjust. We keep going like at that hole. Like
predictable.
That mentality on it.
I know I'm the football nerd in the group, like really a nerd. But just do this. If you're sober, what you can do is when you're drunk, make it a drinking game. Predict the play call. And if you want to make it easier, just do predictions on third down. Predictions on third down. So make it simple for you. What you do is you predict third down. You say shotgun. I bet they'll run shotgun to this side or run to this side. Just try play predicting. Every time your prediction comes true, don't even take a full shot because you're going to be right. Take a half shot. Do that game today.
Yeah, we need to the end of the game. So. If you're doing full shots, you may make it a halftime and then be done for. So, all right,
it's guys. Still predictable.
Yeah. Unfortunately, hopefully, like I said, hopefully they'll change that shit up. 400 yards from Caleb, you're saying?
He said he'll be drunk by the second quarter.
yeah, no shit, they will. So,
well, I feel like it's going to be a low scoring game. By the way, I don't think we're getting in the 20s. I don't think LA is getting in the 20s. I think it's going to be kind of like that. Sweet spot 13-17 type score, but I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be a lot of field goals and
So, and let me give my prediction, my score as well before we head on out of here, since we're getting up to our mark here. When I started the season and looking at the schedule, I had this game down as a loss, but I also had us winning against the Colts. The Colts. I had us losing against the Texans. I was so, but
yes, 2-2.
I thought we would be 2-2 at this point. So I'll say the Bears win, hopefully in a makeup game. Now knowing what we know, the injuries are hitting the Rams a bit harder than they're hitting us right now. Keenan is expected to play today, so that will be a boost as well. So I'm hoping the Bears come out of here. I'm hoping, don't rain on my parade, Chef. The Bears come out with a win with a 24-17 victory, or no, I'll say 24-20 victory. So the Rams
it'll be low scoring.
We'll see. Well, I'm not saying the Bears offense is going to score all those 24 points. No, we could have a defensive pick six. We could have a special teams. So,
I think
but
we had already figured that out. That you weren't talking about all offense.
Correct. I'm not saying Caleb's throwing 400 yards or having his career game or any shit.
I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm a realist.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
No, I know that was T Nick. I know that was T Nick commenting about the Debbie Downer part. I'm just a realist, bro. The offense does not look good at all. Everyone, like, I know me and Amp always go back and forth on like ideas and players, how good they're playing, how bad they're playing, but like, you can't have watched this team for 3 games and think that they're gonna come out here and score 27 points just from offense alone. Like,
well, no,
they just don't look good offensively.
Like I said. So we do all agree. Hopefully, Caleb has
but you
better
got that vision.
Stop using that. We gotta stop using that. We use that on every show. We use that on every fucking show. We gotta stop using that shit, bro. We gotta find some new ad-libs. We gotta find some new ad-libs.
I'm new and it is hilarious. So
see, this is for the newbies. The newbies, they appreciate that shit. It's an oldie but a classic. It still hits, Chef. So hey, with that, we're gonna go out on a high note. Thank you all for joining us. Everybody in the chat, thank you for hitting us up. We are growing on this pregame show. Thank you, everybody, for dropping in the comments, dropping your score predictions. We do appreciate it. Chef, what?
Don't forget to like. If you're watching, just hit the like. It don't cost you nothing. It doesn't cost you anything to like and subscribe. If you're watching, yes, we begging. We need the algorithm to plug us every Sunday. Hit the like, please. I'm not begging. I'm asking. If you're watching the show, hit the like.
Yes, please hit the like. Please follow us on everywhere that we're at to help us grow.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter,
TikTok. Please follow us.
Chicago Clubhouse Power.
Chicago Clubhouse Network. Find us there. If we can get 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, we can also start live streaming on TikTok as well. So please like us if you do have a TikTok there. Follow us there. Follow us on YouTube here at the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Yes, let me go ahead and put up that banner there.
I'm just pressing the like button. Thumbs up. That's what I'm doing. That's how easy it is.
You like and then you unlike. You like and then you
unlike. It counts. It still counts.
So everyone, Ocean, we had a lot of new people jumping in. Janin, Ocean, thank you. Scott, thank you for your comments. Frank, Andrea. I cannot pronounce
both Franks.
This name here, but thank you. Yes, both Franks.
Toussaint.
I cannot pronounce your
Toussaint.
name. Toussaint. Thank you for. He's been commenting, and I feel bad. I don't want to chop up your name, but thank you for the comments. Who else we got here? T3P podcast. Thank you for jumping in for a minute here. Jeremy, thank you for jumping in. And is that everybody? Did we get everybody? I think we got everybody. If we didn't, I apologize. But Monday, we have the fantasy football show with your boy, the Crooked Commish. So if you have a fantasy team, there's no excuse not to come in and say hi, jump on, ask us your fantasy questions.
One question for you. Yeah. Somebody asked you a question, you missed it. Crazy Ace asked you who should he start today?
Rolo.
If I don't know how. Okay, thank you.
I
don't know why you have both backs on your team, but if you did, it was I think it was Swift or Roshan Johnson. That was a question.
Yeah, that was in our fantasy, our Clubhouse fantasy league. He had auto draft, so he drafted a lot of Bears players.
Okay, yes. Why?
So yes, Swift is damn near getting to droppable at this point. If you still have him on your
I think I dropped him. I dropped him in one of my leagues.
Yeah. So we have the fantasy show Monday. We have the main show on Tuesday. We have She Said What She Said, I believe, on Wednesday. But she's been on a hiatus here. And then, like I said, we're going to figure out when we're going to have this midweek show here with Lola.
Midweek Bears report.
Yes. So we'll figure out.
I'm sorry I can't be a part of that this year.
It's okay. We got Mr. Chicago that's joining us. We have Amp that's joining us. We have Lola that's joining us as well. So, and then we have our show on Friday nights. Easy does it. But Easy doesn't always do it. when he feels he does it when he likes to do it, I guess. So, but it's all in the title.
He was meeting the in-laws. He was meeting the future in-laws. Hopefully.
No, I mean, that's real life shit going on. So we understand that.
Meeting the girlfriend's parents. Big news.
If all goes well, Easy will be bringing a new member to the clubhouse. His wife, hopefully,
Right,
converted to a Bears fan.
Whoa, we really jumping the broom now. Oh my bad. Wait. That's not. Wait, that's the wrong culture. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Mazel tov. Yeah.
There you go. Mazel tov. There you go. Mazel tov.
Shut it down, Chef.
So, all right. So thank you everyone for joining us. Hopefully the Bears win. Remember, y'all, if you can't be good, should at least be good at it. Amp, let me give you the last word. We'll all be quiet so we can hear you clearly. Amp, last word here before we say goodbye to everybody.
Accountability.
Yo, Amp sound like somebody in the red pill chat.
And for that being said, for Amp, for the coach chef, for our newest member, Lola Bunny, thank you all very much. Bear down, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
I knew I was going to get you to do it. I knew it.
Damn claw.
I've committed to it now. I did it last week. No, I did it 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. I'm not going to run out of any more data now, and Tony.
And now it's all over.